Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more Leviathan crafts. We're going to be going back to the world of BattleTech with a Thunderbolt. Now, I realised that not everyone knows what BattleTech is, so I thought I would give you a little bit of info. In the 32nd century, you can spend 5 million Seabills to get yourself a lumbering mass of metal, weapons and destruction. Those 5 million Seabills will get you a mech that travels at 54 kilometers an hour, although many pilots do scrap some armor so they can get higher speeds of up to 64. Now these mechs can be armed with large lasers, long-range missiles, medium lasers, short-range missiles, and machine guns. Other variants also carry particle projector cannons, also known as PPCs, autocannons, and even jump jets, for those who want to really increase their maneuverability. Now, given all that firepower that they can hold, some pilots were not quite happy with the original 15 heat sinks, so they opted to find some more so they could fire upon the targets without melting down. Now, in my headcanon, the pilot of this mech, knowing he is in such a large and formidable mech that is very, very difficult to hide, he thought he would embrace the ostentatious nature of its firepower and go with a very retro 80s kind of colour scheme, since there's not much that could keep him hidden anyway, so he may as well embrace it. Starting off with a grey base coat over the entire mech after masking off the base just to make sure that there was those crisp clean edges at the bottom. We began with a light green in a couple of places, starting with the main chassis and the side armor plates as well as the fists. From there we then moved down to the feet, which got coated in a single layer of a red, also alongside the hip leg joints. Now after this, for a little bit of contrast and to really break up the colours that had been painted on so far, we then moved over to a light blue. This was for the main barrel of the missile pod, as well as certain joints on the elbow and panels on the alternate leg. From this point, this mech was already looking awfully gaudy, so we continued on with a rather bright fire orange, for not just the leg across from the blue, also for the main battery of the weapon, as well as its mounting point to the wrist of its arm. Then there were a couple of highlights for some of the missile bays from the main torso, as well as the launching face of the missile pod. From that point, the majority of the mech was already painted, so it was only for a few little details left. We went over the barrel of the main firearm with a gunmetal grey, and then left the rest of the panels to a silver or a gold to help show some of the organic metal structure beneath. From there, it was just up to picking out a couple of small details that we wanted to make shine, so we went over some of the radiating systems, some of the wires between weapon systems, and a little bit of a light dry brush to help show some wear and tear on the armor panels. And then after a light wash of brown to add a little bit of weathering, we had to only remove the masking and then we were complete. So now without any further ado, let's move to the glamour shots. Starting from light greens to blue to orange and even some gold, the brightness of this mech is only overshadowed by its sheer firepower and wrath against all of its foes. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more in this series, please do hit that subscribe button. I am continually learning how to make better videos for this, and so all of your support is very much appreciated. So again, if you do want to see more, the best way to catch all of this is to subscribe, and let me know if there is any models that you would like to see me do in the future. I have a few ideas, but suggestions are always appreciated. So until then, thank you for tuning in to the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.